Cold winds sweep across a Puritan village. Candles flicker inside timber-framed houses. Families whisper rumors behind closed doors. This is Massachusetts Bay Colony, 1692. A society built on strict religious control and constant fear of the devil. Within months, paranoia will turn neighbor against neighbor and change American history forever. For many genealogists today, a stunning realization awaits. Thousands of people living in the United States may descend from individuals who stood on either side of the Salem witch trials. Some come from the accused, others from those who pointed the finger. This episode reveals how hysteria and harsh belief systems can warp justice, destroy communities, and still echo across centuries, perhaps even through your own family tree. Let's step back in time and uncover what really happened in Salem. Salem Village, now modern-day Danvers, was a small farming settlement deeply divided by land disputes and church politics. At the center stood Reverend Samuel Parris, a polarizing minister whose sermons warned constantly of Satan's presence in New England. In January 1692, two girls in the Parris household, his 9-year-old daughter Betty and 11-year-old niece Abigail Williams, fell into mysterious fits. They screamed, twisted their bodies, threw objects, claimed invisible spirits tormented them. Physicians, lacking medical explanations, resorted to spiritual diagnosis. Salem doctor William Griggs declared the girls under the evil hand. In Puritan New England, that meant witchcraft. The accusation frenzy ignited. Neighbors wanted answers. Ministers demanded repentance. Fear spread faster than reason. Soon, Betty and Abigail named 3 women: Tituba, an enslaved indigenous or Caribbean woman in the Parris household; Sarah Good, a homeless beggar; and Sarah Osborne, a woman who defied church attendance norms. These first allegations targeted outsiders, Salem's most vulnerable people. Arrest warrants were issued February 29, 1692. Massachusetts has begun its largest witch hunt in history. Public examinations took place inside the packed meeting house. The afflicted girls writhed on the floor, pointing and screaming whenever the accused glanced their way. Magistrates pressed, "Who torments you?" Terrified, Tituba confessed. She painted lurid pictures of a diabolical conspiracy, animals speaking Satan's wishes, books signed in blood, witches flying through the night. Her confession had an unintended effect. She confirmed exactly what the village feared most. The devil had infiltrated Massachusetts. Accusations multiplied. Not just the marginalized, but respected church members, midwives, merchants, and farmers. Over 200 individuals would be accused. Ages ranged from children to grandparents in their 70s and 80s. Paranoia became policy. At first, the colony lacked a functioning legal system. Massachusetts had recently lost its original charter from the English crown. Suspects languished in overcrowded jails, awaiting real trials. That changed in May 1692, when Governor William Phips created the Court of Oyer and Terminer, granting legal authority to handle witchcraft accusations. Its most controversial decision was to use spectral evidence, testimony that a person's spirit harmed someone, even if the accused was physically elsewhere. Ministers, including Cotton Mather, urged caution, yet fear overruled wisdom. Bridget Bishop became the first to face the new court. Her reputation for scandalous behavior, from wearing bright-colored clothing to running a tavern, made her a target. She was convicted and hanged June 10, 1692. The executions accelerated. In June, 1 person was hanged. July, 5 people. In August, another 5 people. And in September, 8 people were hanged. 19 in all, 14 women, 5 men. One case remains infamous. Giles Corey, age 81. He refused to enter a plea. Without a plea, his estate could not be seized. Authorities resorted to a torturous punishment where they placed heavy stones on his chest. His only recorded response was, "More weight." He died September 19, 1692. His wife Martha was hanged 3 days later. This was not justice. It was a legal system devouring its own people. By early autumn, doubts grew louder. Ministers argued publicly against spectral evidence. Prominent citizens petitioned on behalf of their jailed relatives. When Governor Phipps learned that even his own wife had been named by accusers, the tide turned. He dissolved the court of Oyer and Terminer in October 1692. A new court rejected spectral evidence entirely, soon releasing many still awaiting trial. The last accused were free by May 1693. Terror finally loosened its grip on Massachusetts. In the aftermath, a long and painful healing process began. In 1697, a day of official fasting and repentance was declared. 1706, Anne Putnam Jr., one of the chief accusers, publicly apologized for her role. In 1711, monetary restitution was granted to victims' families. In 1957, Massachusetts formally exonerated the last of the accused. And in 2001, the state cleared the remaining 5 victims not yet officially pardoned. History forced the community to confront what blind fear had wrought. 25 people died due to the trials. 19 were executed by hanging. 1 was pressed to death. There were at least 5 who died imprisoned in harsh jail conditions. The tragedy remains a warning carved into the American story. Today, millions of Americans descend from colonial New England families. You may be one of them. If your ancestors lived in Essex County, Massachusetts, Maine, or New England, which was then part of Massachusetts Bay, or towns like Salem Town, Andover, Ipswich, or Gloucester, there is a chance someone in your family played a role. Descendants today include authors, presidents, actors, and perhaps someone in your own home. To search for a connection, trace your family tree back to the 1600s. Look for families in the Salem region between 1690 and 1710. And here are some top resources that you can use. The Salem Witch Trials Documentary Archive. On this website, you will find public domain court records and transcripts. And on Ancestry.com and FamilySearch.org, there are searchable Salem-specific databases. The Peabody Essex Museum holds records in Salem. And the Associated Daughters of Early American Witches is a lineage society if you descended from the accused. Seeing your ancestor's name in an original deposition or pardon request can be a deeply emotional discovery. The ink on those pages is more than history. It is family. The Salem witch trials were not driven by magic or monsters. They were driven by fear, division, rigid belief, and a failure of justice. When genealogical research reveals an ancestor who suffered or participated in this tragedy, we gain something powerful. A personal entry point into one of America's earliest cautionary tales. A reminder that history is built from ordinary people, and is a chance to reflect on truth, fairness, and community. We inherit not only our DNA, but the stories of those who came before us. Their struggles help us understand who we are. If you want more genealogy adventures like this one, check out these videos. And feel free to share your discoveries in the comments. Perhaps someone watching will uncover their own Salem connection today. The past is never truly gone. In the families of today, the voices of Salem still speak. Well, that's it for today's video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.